Hi friends, welcome back to our channel Mentoring Minds with Ajay Sharma। जिस प्रकार से एक जानवर जन्म लेता है, बड़ा होता है और एक पर्टिकुलर लाइफ के बाद उसकी डेथ हो जाती है, राइट? These are the stages in life of an animal. Similarly, a human being also takes birth, attains adulthood and then he perishes or dies. तो क्या असेट भी इस तरह से स्टेजेस ऑफ लाइफ में गुजरती होंगी? क्या असेट की भी कुछ लाइफ होती होगी? टुडे विल अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट व्हाट इज दीज स्टेजेस इन द लाइफ ऑफ एन असेट। सो टुडेज सेशन इज गोइंग टू बी एन इंटरेस्टिंग वन on stages of life of the asset. So let's see. Now we are aware when we talk about the stages in life of asset, we are first of all talking about existence of the asset. That means asset हमारी existence में आनी चाहिए। अब asset existence में आएगी कब? The answer is जब हम उसे purchase करेंगे, जब हम उसे खरीदेंगे, right? After purchasing the asset, हम क्या करने वाले हैं उस asset का? सर हमने asset purchase करी है उसे use करने के लिए ताकि हम अपनी business की efficiency improve कर सकें। Yes. So we are going to utilize the asset. In this utilization stage, we find the efficiency of asset starts reducing and that's why the value of asset also shrinks. हमें ये भी पता है this shrinkage in the value of asset is called as depreciation. Now, after a useful life of the asset is going to be useless now. अब ये asset हमारे लिए इतनी फायदेमंद नहीं रह जाएगी, तो तब हम क्या करेंगे? Obviously, इस asset को हम dispose करेंगे। तो क्या dispose करके हम asset complete कर लेंगे, यानी अपना business बंद कर लेंगे? The answer is नहीं। हम asset dispose करेंगे ताकि नई asset purchase करें। In short, we are going to replace the asset from the older one. So let's understand the stages in life of an asset. The first stage is the stage when you are going to purchase the asset. Obviously, जब हम asset खरीदते हैं तो किसी particular year में खरीदते होंगे, या तो वो at the beginning of the year होता होगा, या तो at the end of the year or in the middle of the year. Let's say 1st April 2020 is the year that we have started and it ends on 31st March 2020. तो जब हम असेट खरीदेंगे या तो 1st अप्रैल पर खरीदेंगे या 31st मार्च या तो कहीं बीच में। तो लेट्स से दैट वी हैव परचेज द असेट ऑन 1st जुलाई 2020। अब 1st जुलाई को असेट हमने खरीदी 80,000 रुपए की। अब इस असेट, ये जो असेट है, दिस असेट वी आर गोइंग टू यूज इट फॉर डिलीवरिंग और फॉर अदर पर्पसेस। थ्रूआउट द ईयर वी आर गोइंग टू यूटिलाइज द एसेट। अब थ्रूआउट द ईयर का मतलब कितने मंथ्स हमने यूज किया? क्या हमने 12 महीने इसे यूज किया? द आंसर इज नो। सर हमने इसे खरीदा तो जुलाई में। और याद रहे, डेप्रिसिएशन का क्वेश्चन तब उठेगा जब आप असेट परचेज करोगे। अगर असेट परचेज ही नहीं करेंगे तो डेप्रिसिएशन का तो सवाल ही नहीं है। फाइन। So now we are going to use this asset for 9 months. सर कैसे 9 months हुए? काउंट कर लीजिए फ्रॉम जुलाई टू मार्च। जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च। हाउ मेनी मंथ्स? 9 months. So 9 months का हमें डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट करना होगा। Let's say depreciation is 10%. So what is 10% of 80,000? Yes, 8,000। ये जो 8,000 जो डेप्रिसिएशन आपको मिलेगा, दिस विल बी फॉर 12 मंथ्स। ठीक है, तो 12 महीने का अगर 8,000 रुपए है तो 6 महीने का कितना होगा? इट विल बी 4,000। हमें पता है 12 का हाफ इज 6, तो 8,000 का हाफ इज 4,000। 6 का हाफ इज 3, so 4,000 का हाफ इज 2,000। 6 months plus 3 months are 9 months, तो 9 months का कितना depreciation होगा? The answer is 6,000. So we understood in the first year we are going to purchase the asset, also we are going to use the asset. Fine. At the end of the year for accounting calculation we require depreciation. and this depreciation we are going to transfer it to profit and loss account. तो यानी इन द फर्स्ट ईयर हमारे साथ 3 जर्नल एंट्रीज होंगी. Sir, which are those 3 journal entries? The first will be regarding purchase of asset, second one for depreciation, and third one for transfer. So let's understand the journal entries for this purchase of asset. So in a particular year, first of all, हमारे पास book value of this particular asset is 80,000. We have purchased this asset for 80,000. Depreciation amount for 9 months is 6,000. And now the written down value is 74,000. So let's understand the journal entry now. First one, we are purchasing the asset. जब आप asset खरीदते हो तो आपके पास asset आती है या जाती है? Sir, आती है. So we are aware when you are purchasing asset, asset comes in. And what about cash? Cash goes out. We are aware machinery and cash both are real account. और रियल अकाउंट का रूल इज डेबिट व्हाट कम्स इन एंड क्रेडिट व्हाट गोज आउट. फाइन सर. सो लेट्स सी, वी आर परचेजिंग एसेट्स, सो मशीनरी इज डेबिटेड and cash goes out, so cash is credited. Sometimes we are purchasing this asset on credit. सर क्रेडिट का मतलब हमने उधार में खरीदा. तो उधार में किसने आपको दिया? क्या कस्टमर ने आपको दिया कि सप्लायर ने आपको दिया? सर आंसर इज सप्लायर. सप्लायर ने हमें मशीनरी बेची. फाइन. सो दैट मीन्स डेबिट द रिसीवर, क्रेडिट द गिवर. इन सिंपल वे, डेबिट द कस्टमर एंड क्रेडिट द सप्लायर. हमारे लिए मशीनरी प्रोवाइड करने वाला सप्लायर इज कॉल्ड एज वेंडर. हेंस वी आर गोइंग टू क्रेडिट वेंडर अकाउंट. Vendor for machinery account. So we understand the journal entry for purchase of asset can be in cash or can be on credit or both. So machinery debit to cash to vendor. Now throughout the year we are going to utilize the asset, and at the end of the year we are there to charge depreciation. So think and say, depreciation increases the value of asset or decreases? Sir, decreases. It results in profit or loss? Sir, it's a loss. We are aware, debit all expenses and losses. So this depreciation is a loss. Technically it's not a loss, but for the time being we consider it as a loss. So debit all expenses and losses, and this depreciation is charged on asset. जब asset की value बढ़ती है तो हम asset को debit करते हैं. And if the value of asset falls down, we are going to credit the asset. So here we are charging depreciation on asset. So journal entry will be depreciation to asset, that is depreciation to machinery, right? And third thing is the transfer of this to profit and loss. अब ये जो depreciation है, this depreciation we have considered it for one particular year. Sir, one particular year यानी the year in which we have purchased the asset. बट सर हमारा ईयर तो 12 महीने का होता है. बिल्कुल सही, आपका साल तो 12 महीने का होता है, लेकिन हमने जो एसेट परचेज करी दैट वी हैव परचेज्ड इट ऑन 1 जुलाई. तो हमारे लिए डेप्रिसिएशन विल बी कंसिडर्ड फॉर द फर्स्ट ईयर फॉर 9 मंथ्स. सो एज पर मैचिंग कंसेप्ट हमें हमारे एक्सपेंसेस को मैच करना होगा विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द टाइम फॉर विच वी आर यूजिंग द एसेट. ठीक है सर. एंड दिस डेप्रिसिएशन नाउ वी आर ट्रांसफरिंग इट टू प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. हमें पता है ट्रांसफर करने के लिए वी हैव टू गिव द ऑपोजिट इफेक्ट. तो सर व्हाट इज ऑपोजिट ऑफ डेप्रिसिएशन डेबिट? द आंसर इज डेप्रिसिएशन क्रेडिट. सो डेप्रिसिएशन इज क्रेडिटेड and it will be transferred to profit and loss account. So journal entry is profit and loss to depreciation. 3 basic journal entries we should understand in the first year. Sir, which are they? Purchase of asset, charging depreciation, and transfer. PCT. Purchase, charging depreciation, and transfer of depreciation. Sir, then what are we going to use? Or then what are we going to do with the asset? Obviously, in the second year, we are going to utilize the asset for how many months? Sir, obviously, we are going to utilize this asset for 12 months. Because अब second year हम इसे पूरे 12 महीना इस्तेमाल करेंगे. 10% of 80,000 is 8,000, राइट? और ये पूरे 12 महीने का डेप्रिसिएशन हमें मिल गया. फाइन. तो लेट्स सी व्हाट वैल्यू आर वी गोइंग टू राइट इट हियर. We understand in the second year the book value now is 74,000. The depreciation will be 8,000. So now the reduced value of the asset is 66,000. Got it? So in the second year क्या हमने कोई asset purchase करी? सर नहीं. क्या हमने asset बेची? The answer is nahi. So what have we done with the asset? We have just utilized the asset for 12 months. It's a utility year. So in the utility year, at the end, we are going to charge only depreciation. So only two basic entries will come, one for depreciation and the other one for transfer of depreciation. So here the basic entry is the same. We are charging depreciation on machinery. So journal entry is depreciation to machinery, and this depreciation we are transferring it to profit and loss. So profit and loss to depreciation. So easy. In the third year, now observe, in the third year, we are going to dispose the asset. Let's say we dispose the asset on 1st October 22 and the sale value was 60,000. अब मुझे सोच के बताइए, depreciation आप charge करोगे before 1st October or for after 1st October period? Yes, you are right. So we will charge depreciation for the asset for the time period before we are selling the asset. So we are selling the asset on 1st October. 1st April to 1st October there are 6 months. April, May, June, July, August and September. So total there are 6 months. October, 1st October को हमने बेच दिया तो will not consider October month. So 6 months ka how much will be the amount of depreciation? We are aware 10% is 8,000. 8,000 is for 12 months, so 6 months ka it will be 4,000. So now in the third year, the book value of the asset is 66,000, which will be continued. The amount of depreciation is 4,000. So now the written down value is 62,000. So actual value of the asset is 62 now. बट ये 62,000 की असेट आपने कितने में बेची? सर 60,000 में. 62,000 की असेट हम बेच रहे हैं 60,000 में. ज्यादा में बेच रहे हैं या कम में बेच रहे हैं? सर हम तो कम में बेच रहे हैं. इट्स अ प्रॉफिट और लॉस? सर इट्स अ लॉस ऑफ 2,000. सो वी फाइंड we have sold the asset for 60,000 and there is a difference of 2,000 rupees which is the loss. So now in this particular year which we call it as disposal year, we have to pass certain journal entries. Sir कौन सी entries pass करनी होंगी? पहली entry तो we are going to charge depreciation. So when you charge depreciation, right, the journal entry is depreciation to asset, that is depreciation to machinery. After charging depreciation, we are going to sell the asset. तो asset आ रही है या जा रही है? सर जा रही है. और कैश आ रहा है. So journal entry for sale of asset is cash account debit. Now we are selling the asset of 62,000 at 60,000. तो 2,000 का हमें प्रॉफिट होगा या लॉस? लॉस. That's why loss is debited and machinery goes out. तो मशीनरी जा रही है 62,000 की. 60,000 कैश हमें आ रहा है. Also we are getting a loss of 2,000. So that's why cash account debit, loss account debit to machinery. Now this depreciation and this loss we are going to transfer. सर कहां ट्रांसफर करेंगे? Obviously we'll transfer it to profit and loss. और हमें पता है कि लॉस हो या डेप्रिसिएशन हो, ट्रांसफर करने के लिए वी हैव टू गिव द ऑपोजिट इफेक्ट्स. So transfer of depreciation will be profit and loss to depreciation. Similarly, transfer of loss will be loss, that is profit and loss, to loss on machinery account. Kitna easy. So at the end of the year there will be 4 journal entries when we are selling the asset. Easy. So there are 3 stages in the life of asset. One is the year in which we have purchased the asset. That is the first stage, purchase of asset, purchase year. Second is utility year, and the third is disposal year. Got it? So in today's session, we understood about the stages in the life of asset. Simultaneously, we have also understood the journal entries required to be incorporated in our books when the stages of life of asset continues. I hope today's session you understood nicely. So let me ask you a question. Think and say, when you purchase the asset, the value, when you purchase the asset comes in or goes out? Yes, the asset comes in. When you charge depreciation, the value of asset increases or decreases? Yes, the value of asset decreases. So depreciation is a profit or loss for the business? Yes, it's a loss. So I hope you enjoyed today's sessions. See to it that you are watching our videos regularly and upgrading yourself. Till then, take care. Bye.